You're not strong. How did you beat me?
I'm not sure his team understood it.
Because I'm skilled.
Let's do the
I have character. Okay. And determination.
Come on.
Anthony Joshua's second consecutive loss to Alexander Usyk has not done Anthony Joshua bad, as the former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world delivered a more than decent performance against the pound-for-pound elite. That means that Anthony Joshua is freed from any obligation to defend his world titles.
I would like to see him get out in December, and I would like to see him have 3 to 4 fights next year, get back to enjoying himself, get back to the pressures of working his way back up to the championship belt, because for him it's the enjoyment of fighting, it's the enjoyment of working with his team.
And if he indeed continues his career, maybe even coming back as soon as end of 2022, the question then becomes, what's next for Anthony Joshua? Hey, what's going on, Ringsiders? This is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer, and welcome back to Ringside Stories. Or if you're new, we make content regarding boxing through mini documentaries, backstories, takeaways, and much more. So if you enjoy that type of content, feel free to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for the latest day on our Ringside Stories. Thanks so much for your support in advance, and welcome to the channel. Now, before we go into 3 possible opponents for Anthony Joshua's next fight, let's throw in 2 wild cards. The winner of Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker. Now, this is a bit of a long shot, especially in the case of the former WBO world champion Joseph Parker. Hypothetically speaking, however, Joshua Parker too has the ingredients of a potential great fight. Joshua holds a win over Parker in a blockbuster world title unification match in Cardiff, Wales back in 2018, when both men were undefeated. The fight, however, turned out to be not so much of a fight because of an unexperienced, non-English speaking referee who tried his best to steal the show. As of recently, Parker showed that he has dog in the Derek Chisora rematch, doing a much better job than the first fight. Parker showed he can make adjustments, especially with Kronk-style trainer and former world champion Andy Lee. Depending on how Joseph Parker beats Joe Joyce, if the former world champion actually managed to beat the undefeated juggernaut, AJ versus Parker 2 could be an enticing fight. Now, because there's a rematch clause, if Parker beats Joe Joyce, meaning Joyce would pass up on the immediate rematch with Joseph Parker should the Kiwi be victorious over Joe Joyce. And speaking of Joe Joyce, styles make fights. Joe Joyce is an awkward customer who comes forward, breaks his man down with decent power, a granite chin, and seemingly unlimited stamina. Both Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce have a similar cultural background, shared the ring more than once, with AJ having come out on top so far.
But I would like him to go in there with somebody he's going to be fear of, so he can motivate himself.
Joe Joyce a good fight?
Nah, nah, man.
But in anyone?
Nah. It's a good fight, yeah. Nah, it's a good fight, 100%.
With Joshua, he's a bit more balanced. He has quite quick hands and he's powerful. He's very, physical specimen.
Yet Joyce has vast experience with many amateur accolades, and as a pro, the juggernaut has looked impressive, especially in his latest outings against Carlos Takam, who he stopped inside 6 rounds, and Daniel Dubois, who Joe Joyce also managed to beat inside the distance. A win over Joseph Parker would most likely earn Joe Joyce a shot at the WBO World Championship, so an AJ Joe Joyce fight most likely will not happen anytime soon. However, this is the sport of boxing where fans should expect the unexpected. Number 1, Dillian Whyte 2. A second episode between these 2 bitter British rivals dating back to December of 2015. Well, actually, even way before, but in terms of dating back to when they were pros. Both men with a chip on their shoulders put their undefeated record on the line to challenge them in what turned out to be a classic domestic dust-up. Both are coming off a loss in high-profile fights. Both have stated to continue their careers, and a Joshua Whyte rematch will certainly draw a big UK crowd. As for the fight, both Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte possess devastating knockout power, yet have shown vulnerabilities in their latest performances. They're both further in their careers, so they're more seasoned. Even if they're past their physical prime, the rivalry between Whyte and AJ will surely make for an epic build-up to look forward to.
Then he's that, and he's saying, if he wants it that way, we can go down that road. That's fine.
You couldn't touch me.
Okay.
Hand on my heart, you couldn't touch me.
Number 2, Deontay Wilder. Speaking of rivalry, how about a transatlantic clash? the fight that made all the sense in the world, one of the most lucrative, and one for all marbles in the heavyweight division at one point when both the Bronze Bomber and AJ were undefeated world champions. A fight that, as of the making of this recording, has not happened yet.
Me versus A-Juice and Jay. Listen, mate. I declare war upon you. Do you accept my challenge?
Yeah. What I'd have to do to beat Wilder? Get him in the ring and I'll knock him spark out. Thank you very much.
I've been waiting for a long time, baby. I know I'm the champion. I know I'm the best. Is you up for the test?
Two former world champions who are in rebuild mode yet provide the allure heavyweight boxing can provide even without any world titles on the line. Both men have been down and stopped in their careers.
Sometimes the eye tests will tell it all. Their body language is telling the story. The way that the momentum of a fight is telling the story. With Joshua, you could tell that he wasn't himself. It ain't using himself or being motivated or feeling secure, then within himself, and you could just easily tell. We all know that, Joshua has stamina problems and different things like that, and we always felt he's too big for certain things he do. He's not getting enough oxygen in his muscles and stuff like that. But like I've always said, they've given him everything. When you give a man everything, and then when it's time to really bite down on the wire, how far can you go?
There's firepower, pride, thus bragging rights, i.e. more than enough reason to put on this UK versus US rivalry, and a different aesthetic than the last two fights Wilder was involved in against the Gypsy King Tyson Fury. Of course, this is provided Deontay Wilder hasn't lost too much in those two grueling matches with Tyson Fury, and provided the Bronze Bomber makes a successful return to the ring in October against seasoned vet and former sparring partner Robert Helenius. Number 3. Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang has been wandering in heavyweight obscurity, with wins and even questionable performances against less than stellar opposition. Not much seemed to be made of the 39-year-old Zhang's career until August 20th, 2022, when on the undercard of Usyk versus Joshua 2, Ling Lang or Big Bang gave Filip Hrgović his toughest fight in the Croatian's pro career so far. The 6'6" Chinese southpaw dropped Hrga, which was a questionable knockdown, yet went on to box a solid fight, trading blows with El Animal. Zhilei Zhang himself took some of Hrga's biggest shots and became only the third man to go the full distance with Filip Hrgović. A fight that could have easily swung in Big Bang's favor, as Zhang had Hrgović hurt and at times awkwardly dazed out in a way that we've never seen the Croatian so far in his pro career.
What do you think? Who won? You see the fight? Man, got the decision. Thank you, man. Bye-bye. See you. Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
So a fight between Zhilei Zhang and Anthony Joshua may be a potential barn burner, definitely a different type compared to Alexander Usyk, who, yes, is a southpaw, yet a much technically refined elite level boxer, which is a style AJ clearly struggles with. This fight against Big Bang is not only a more winnable fight, also a more lucrative one potentially, as Team AJ, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, and The Zone might have found a way to penetrate the Chinese market.
Like what got me through in my early days when I was beating people that I shouldn't have been beating. For example, I was an amateur for 3 years. I was beating guys based off of sheer hunger and passion. So just in the last fight, I wanted to compete and improve myself as a boxer. And it wasn't good enough. Tonight wasn't good enough, but you could see I adapted. I made the changes needed to give him a more competitive fight. And if it's about who I fight, come one, come all. Whoever wants it can get, I don't mind.
These are my picks. What are yours? Who would you like to see Anthony Joshua in with next if and when AJ decides to return to the ring, maybe by the end of 2022? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoy content like this and you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. It helps out the channel a lot, i.e. inspire us to make more quality content for y'all. As always, thanks so much for your support and welcome to Ringside Stories. If you've done that already, you're amazing. We already know that. You are the true undisputed world champion. Till next time, Ringsiders, this is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer, with the Ringside Stories. Thanks so much for watching, and have a legendary day.